Today I'm going to be bringing you the review of a 16613 Rolex Submariner. This was the model that ran from about 1987-88 I believe till about 2006. And the 16613 again refers to the two-tone version of the Submariner. In this case it's a black dial. Now the question to ask now is this one authentic? Or is this one authentic? One of these two watches cost over $9,000 new, and the other one cost about 150 bucks. So rather than just do a standard review of a Rolex, let's do a comparison of, for the first time ever, the real versus the fake, exactly the same model. So I know I've done a review before of a fake Rolex Submariner versus a genuine Submariner only in stainless, but now we had the opportunity to compare the 16613 authentic and the 16613 fake. So to my left is the authentic Rolex, or is it the one to my right? Well, let's take a look at some of the details and see if we can figure this out. So let's first take a look at the crown guards. If we take a look at the watch on the right, the crown guards are very thin, and they slowly thin down as they come to a slight point. The watch on my right has very thick crown guards that are almost crowding the crown. Okay. If we take a look at the watch on my right, and we take a look at the thickness of the gold going over the end link, it's very, very thin. It barely comes over the stainless steel. If we look at the one to my right, it's pretty thick, and there's quite a substantial bump over the stainless steel at the end link. If we take a look at the links on the watch to the left, you'll see that they're solid. If we take a look at the links on the watch to the right, you'll see, hopefully, that they're hollow. So the center gold links, you can see right through them. Okay. Let's take a look at the face on the watch to the right. Some nice crisp printing. It says Rolex. Looks good so far. The watch on my left also says Rolex. Not quite as clear. Let's take a look at the bezels. They both are 60-minute. If we look at the watch to the left, it's a little bit harder to read. If we rotate the one on the left, it's very easy to turn. It's 120 clicks. The one on my right, a little bit harder to turn, a little more precise. It's also 120 clicks from side to side. Let's take a look at the date window. It fills up the entire cyclops. It's pretty clear to read. We take a look at the one on the left. It almost fills up the entire cyclops, and it's pretty easy to read. If we take a look at the hands, the ratio of gold to luminance, or luminescence, is a little thick on the gold. If we look on the watch to my right, the gold is a little bit thinner and more proportional to the luminescence. They both say Swiss made at the 6 o'clock. Okay, interesting. So if you take a look at the crowns, they should both have a triplock crown with a gasket. We take a look at the watch to the left. There's a rubber gasket all the way against the case, and I pulled it all the way out and it stopped, so it's hacking. That's a good sign. Take a look at the watch on my right. Screw it. Pull it all the way out. It's still ticking. Let me pop it out again. Alright. Now it's stopped. It's also got a little bit of a gasket right there, about halfway between the lug and the crown. It can be wound in this position. And it's got the 3 dots for the Rolex triplock crown. Look at the other one. This one also has 3 dots for the triplock. It can be wound. So it's a little, you can definitely hear it winding. It's a little gritty sounding. If we wind this one, it's more of a clicking noise when you're winding it. So, before I reveal the answer, which one do you think is the real one? Again, one of these cost over $9,000, one of these was 150 bucks. Before I reveal the answer, let's take a look at one other little feature on these. Would be the clasp. Here's the clasp on the one on the right, and the clasp on the one on the left. The one on the left is got a little bit bigger Rolex logo on it, and a little bit bigger area to pop your thumb into to pop it open. There's the Rolex stamping. And this one, it's a little bit thinner, versus the one on the right, it's a little bit thicker and shinier. If we take a look on the printing inside the clasp, it says, oops, wrong way. It's hard to read it. There we go. Registered Swiss made. It's got a date code of D12. The date code on Rolex bracelets is for the year they were made. On the one on the right, this one also says registered Swiss made steel inox. The date code's a little hard to read, but it says DE8. Now both of these should have a diver's extension. On the one on the right, there's a little dot. You pop. Allows this part of the bracelet to come out. There's the diver's extension. This one on the left, it also has a diver's extension. So, which one was $9,000? Which one was 150 bucks and made in Korea? If you guess the one on the left is the correct original Rolex, I'm sorry, it's the one on the right. Everything that I've showed to you should have been a telltale sign. The Rolex on the right is a P series from 2000. Everything from the crown cards, which are the proper thickness, compared to the fake, which are way too thick and crowning the crown, to the actual protective washer for water tightness, which is on the center of the crown, whereas the one on the fake is almost even hard to even see. It's right up against the case. To the legibility of the date font, which on this one is okay, versus the real one, which is very easy to read. The printing quality on the legitimate one versus the printing quality on the fake. In person, there's no comparison. The real one is 10 times what the fake one is in printing quality. Those of you who saw my other review know that this bezel on the fake one is already broken. As on a legitimate one, you can't turn it to take away time, you can only turn it to add time. This one being a P series, the links are hollow. All Rolexes of 1990s and before in particular, for the most part, had hollow center links for the gold. And as you can hopefully see, they are solid gold. There's no stainless steel poking out in between them. Whereas if we look at the, as I've showed you, fake one, it's hard to see on this video, but the center links are actually the color of stainless steel on the sides. They didn't even bother to coat them on the sides. And as you can see, stainless steel is starting to show its way through the links because they're simply plated. As I showed you earlier, the end link has way too much thickness on the gold overlay. The diver's extension actually is reasonably well done. However, there's no dot where you're supposed to press it to release it. The dot that I'm referring to is right there. Oops. Right in front of my thumb. You press that to release it on the genuine one. Holding them, which is something you can't really do over the video, obviously. The legitimate one has got a much better weight to it. Just the way this bracelet sounds. It just sounds cheap. This one, well, the diver's extension makes a lot of noise, but I put that back in. It's much smoother, doesn't jiggle around as much. It's actually, it just feels better. It's hard to explain. Now again, this is from the days when Rolex still did flip over clasp, so the clasp on a newer Submariner is much nicer than this, but just the way everything functions on this one, if you were to hold it, you'd instantly recognize that there's a big difference. And this one actually just kind of gets crinkled too. It was just stuck there for a second. So, not one of my better videos. I apologize for the terrible camera work, but there's just kind of a general overview of some of the major differences between a real and a fake. So, and this fake was picked up in Korea for over a little bit over $100. So, there you are. Now, if you want to take a look at the sweeping of the second hand, look how smooth that one is on the original. Sometimes you don't even really sense that it's ticking. It's so smooth. This one's a little bit, it's hard to pick it up on camera, but it's a little more jerky in its movements. So, there you are. Thanks for watching.